What did we just watch? What did we just watch in that PSG versus Bayern game, the semifinals of the UEFA Champions League? First leg, 5-4 in the first leg. 5-4 is the score of most aggregates. First leg was just 5-4. I think it's the highest scoring semifinal game in the history of Champions League. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't even know where to start. Actually, I do know where to start. Welcome back to another episode of Ball IQ Podcast. Tolu, Real Madrid fan. I'm wearing the PSG jersey just to, out of excitement, out of respect of the game I just watched, that we just watched. Flying solo today. Nelson is in England right now. He's just went to the Stamford Bridge today to tour. Probably add the photo that he sent me somewhere here. But so I'm gonna hold it down for him. But he picked a heck of an episode to miss because this game was nuts. Let's just jump straight into the IQ deep dive and let's talk about this game a bit tactically. And Bayern played pretty much as we expected with a few additions. Kane, obviously, up top, but in the false nine position. Musiala in the traditional 10. Obviously, Diaz and Olise will stay high and wide with the fullbacks kind of there to support. This time, Davis started instead of Lima, but Lima came on in the second half. And Pavlovic and Kimmich in the last round against Real Madrid, both legs against Real Madrid, I was actually lyrical about their performance. And Pamecano and Jonathan Tah in the back, and of course, Neuer in goal. And for PSG, Mensch, Pacho, Marquinhos, and Hakimi per usual. Um, John Mensch, Vitinha, and as I am in the middle, Dembele, Vicha, and Desiree Doué up top. I mean, both teams want to play the same way. They want to play in transitions. They want to play high and wide. They want to play like with their fullback supporting their wingers at all time. They're very dangerous in transitions. Like I said, they have very, very, very electric attackers, especially wingers. Interesting this game, both Olise uh, and Diaz and Kane scored. And for PSG, Dembele scored two, Vicha scored two, and Desiree had two assists. So excellent, excellent attacking display today. The PK for PSG was kind of unfortunate. I didn't think it was a PK hit. Davis's lap onto his arm. I thought that was very harsh. Other than that, I thought the ref was fine. And the game was just exhilarating game. Obviously, PSG are exploiting the half spaces because of Dembele's mobility. He comes to each of the wings to support the wingers to create 2v1s, especially in transition when um, Bayern aren't set. So that kind of like helped them out in certain areas of the game in the half space. But really, the game was about the wingers, really specifically two Bayern wingers and Vicha taking advantage of their matchups. That's really where the game was won. I mean, they both, like I said, they both scored set pieces. Upamecano scored Bayern, and Jalmen scored for PSG off a corner. They both scored transition goals with uh, Dembele's second goal in particular, and Diaz's goal was somewhat in the transition. That goal was nasty, by the way. I mean, it was just exhilarating. That's just how I can say it. But Kane was very interesting in the game because, again, we know this is what he can do. This is the quality he has. He's shown us this season of like dropping in and finding, just like for the goal, finding Diaz long ball in. A lot of his touches were in and around here. He didn't really have that many looks at goal, if any, apart from the penalty, but he was still very, very influential in how Bayern attacked and how they kept positions and how they created chances just because of his prowess. Sometimes he'll allow the play to pass him, and sometimes behind Musiala just to receive the ball in the back and kind of dictate. And he did a good job holding up the play because Pacho was following him everywhere essentially. So he won a couple of fouls against Pacho. Kept the play going. It was an outlet for uh, Kimmich or Pavlovic or the defenders sometimes to receive the ball just to beat PSG's press a couple of times. So I thought Kane was fantastic again, even though like it wasn't his traditional number 9 performance, but as a false 9, he was pretty good. Shout out to him. But like I said, for PSG, Kvaratskhelia 1v1 play was pretty much their main attacking threat, I'd say. Apart from when obviously they're attacking transitions, like Dembélé's second goal was a big transition play. But I thought that I said it. I mean, we spoke about it, Nelson and I, 2 episodes ago after Bayern knocked out my Real Madrid. I was obviously Bayern were this better team versus Madrid, but I felt that will outscore you mentality in this level of the Champions League might cost them. I mean, I know it's just the first leg and they're down by one going home, so they're not in a bad position. But um, Real Madrid were able to score 3 goals in Allianz Arena. And you know PSG is going to score. You know PSG is going to score because of how Bayern play. Uh, the fourth goal is kind of indicative of what I'm talking about with Bayern, where um, what's his name? Diaz had Hakimi and Lema came on, I believe, at the time, and he had Due. And Due shows, I can't remember who passed the ball, but Due shows, Lima follows him, and Hakimi runs in behind, and Diaz is caught lacking. And that way, they have all these, they're chasing back, and Hakimi has all the time in the world to pick somebody out, and he picks out Vicha for the second goal. That goal, I feel like might happen again in the second leg, just because of how Bayern play. But I'm not complaining. I know you. If you're a neutral, by the way, I know you're not complaining because it makes for a fantastic second leg. We know that they're going to come back. Yeah, they're going to come back to the Alliance and do the same thing. Both teams are going to do the same thing. So looking forward to that. Again, PSG, they're up 5-2. Um, I mean, I'm thinking of the goals that they conceded when they were 5-2 up. There was the Upamecano goal and there was the Diaz goal. Um, could they have done better in either, especially the Diaz one, with again Hakimi passing on his man to a much slower Marquinhos. In hindsight, should he have stayed with him and have Marquinhos just stay in the central for any support? Maybe, but it's easier to say in hindsight for sure. So I'm sure PSG will be disappointed being the home team with a 5-2 lead and the game ended 5-4. But again, they'll be confident knowing that they can do pretty much the same thing away at Germany. And of course, Bayern will also feel the same way. So be prepared for another shootout. I mean, the game wasn't really. I think about it. Is it chaos or is it the I guess tactics of both teams actually working extremely well? Who knows, man? But we're here for it. Whatever it is, we're here for it. But what a game! Trying to make sure that I covered everything here. Um, if Bayern played that high line, though, I don't know. I like I said again. We said 2 episodes again. I worry about them defensively. We know they're going to score, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Who you guys think will go through? I know Bayern's at home, but honestly, like that game, Bayern may have the home advantage, but it won't really feel like a home advantage. PSG are defending champions. They won home away last fixture. They both won home and away last fixture. So honestly, it's really tight to call. I don't know. I lean PSG again though because they may have just that slight balance between attack and defense over Bayern. I know I'm saying this after they just conceded four at home, but again, I don't know. I just lean towards PSG. We'll see what happens though. I really don't have any dog in the fight. So we'll see what happens. I'm just looking forward to it, and I am sad that the game will the game tomorrow, Arsenal versus Atletico, might not live up to this expectation. But you never know in football. You never know. Maybe if Atleti or Arsenal score first, it might push the other team to kind of come out more. But we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Um, Speaking of Arsenal, in league play, they beat Newcastle at home 1-0. Another unconvincing performance from Arsenal, but at this point, they got the 3 points. That's what really matters to them at this stage of the season. Um, City have a game in hand because they played in the FA Cup. They're through to the final. Um, if City win a domestic treble in a transition year, I think it will speak volumes to Pep's you know greatness and Arsenal's disappointing season and maybe the Premier League in a whole as a whole rather if that was to happen. But I mean many things can change. Arsenal would have before City plays their next league game, Arsenal will have played two games. So it will put the pressure on City to do their business. But we know City can do it. So I mean we really City's to lose in my opinion. But again, we'll see what happens in that league. Um, Saying in England, another big result was Spurs winning away at Wolves. They definitely needed that because things are looking rocky, and at the same time, West Ham won their game against Everton. So there are lot of things to look out for in England. Um, Another thing I wanted to point out in England was Casemiro's farewell tour has been one for the books for real. He put up record-breaking midfield performance numbers and scored a goal as well in that game. That's his like ninth league goal, if I'm not mistaken. So just showing that Amorim almost ruined his reputation, really playing that style of football. Um, there's a video in one of the shorts that we have on our channel where we're specifically saying or describing how United should play, and it's exactly how United are playing right now. Specifically mentioning Casemiro playing in the three, I specifically remember saying maybe you get a world class player, maybe you get the guy that won four Champions Leagues, and it doesn't take a rocket science to a rocket scientist to I should say to figure that out. And for some reason, Amarin didn't, and Mainu continues to perform well. And Bruno is one assist from equaling the record, and one and two assists from beating the record. Personally, I think he probably will beat it. And personally, for me, he has been Premier League player of the season. But we'll see again. Like 4 games to go in the Prem. Crunch time. Both at the top and the bottom end of the tables. We'll see. Um, my dear Madrid was poor again. Tying 1-1 away to Betis. Um, from an injury standpoint, Eden Militao out for the season. Mbappe likely out as well. Um, Conceding late like that was definitely annoying and painful and kind of summarizes our season. Um, I don't know. We'll see what happens at the end of the season. The season is pretty much over for us anyway, so it's not really news. It's getting over mathematically. Barcelona can clinch it this weekend. I believe that's when the Clasico is. If I'm not mistaken, I'll confirm, but I don't even care when the Clasico is anymore. Because the team has just been kind of disappointing. Two seasons in a row, trophyless, first time in 16 years, and we're linked to Jose Mourinho. How do I feel about Jose possibly coming to Real Madrid? Feeling different. I don't like how he handled the Benfica player situation early in the Champions League this season. Really, that kind of left a bad taste for me personally. Um, but it'll be interesting if he joins Real Madrid. The dynamics between him, Mbappe, Vini, how does he manage them? Is he the guy that, in my opinion, Mbappe should listen to in terms of positionally? Because again, in this channel, if you've been watching, I've been calling Mbappe out about his positioning. And I think that Real Madrid's success or any manager's success in Real Madrid relies on him playing as a nine. I don't want to hear all this. He's not a traditional nine. I want him to figure it out. I think that he has it in him. He has shown the movements that I personally have called out for him. He has shown that he can do it against those two games against Bayern. That's what we need. That. And Betis, he was still reversing to his natural instincts of just not making those runs in the box. Once the ball is wide, Mbappe doesn't know how to lose his defender to save his life. So hopefully, he figures that out. But personally, in regards to Abeloa, I don't think he has done bad. For somebody who came in mid season, he has won a couple of big games, two games against City, Atletico Madrid as well. Has some big games. Has some losses to like 30 Albacete or whatever their name is. No disrespect, I'm sorry for saying that, but I wouldn't be mad at him starting next season. Personally, I wouldn't. I think that I think he deserves a shot personally. But obviously, if we see a more experienced manager that is tailored to Madrid, not just any manager, I'll take that. I'll take that manager as well. But we'll see. Again, like I said, Barcelona probably won it. Yeah, Yamal is also out for the season. I know they're rivals, but I never like to see injuries, especially players like at that level, that players of that caliber out through injury. Hopefully, he recovers in time for the Euros, and we get to see him in Euros. I know Spain. I'm based in Atlanta. We're based in Atlanta, Hassan and I. I know Spain are supposed to be playing a lot of their group games here, so hopefully we get to see him when he comes to Atlanta. But get well soon to all the injured players. At Real Madrid, the amount of injuries that we've had has been kind of like shocking, so we need to look into that as well. But yeah, so I mean, games that I'm looking forward to. We're looking forward to obviously the second leg of this specific Champions League game that we just watched today. Um, that obviously in the Premier League is probably the more exciting thing going on. Arsenal are playing Fulham at home. That's not going to be easy, especially the way Fulham have been playing and the way Arsenal have been playing. United are playing Liverpool on Sunday. That's historically a big game to watch. My Real Madrid playing going away to Espanyol. All those away games for Real Madrid for some reason. Um, they're always tricky for us, but we'll see. We'll see if Espanyol would do their neighbors a favor by taking a point all from us, and it's a wrap. But I know Espanyol also cannot stand Barcelona, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Um, and then City's playing away at Everton on Monday. Again, those two in City and Arsenal, every single game is a must watch there. Interestingly enough, Chelsea are playing Nottingham Forest. Both are playing for something. Nottingham Forest to stay in the league. They've picked up some big 3 points in the last couple of games. They want to, put their mind at ease and leave West Ham and Tottenham to fight out for the relegation battle. So it'll be interesting with Colin McFarlane leading Chelsea to the FA Cup final. See what he does against Forest. He has proven to be a decent caretaker manager. So we'll see what happens. Then obviously the midweek next week is the Champions League second leg, and I'll probably see you guys after, specifically after the PSG Bayern game. But yeah, it's been a great day for me specifically after that game. For IQ finish of the week, it's kind of difficult for me to choose between Dembele's second goal and Diaz's goal. Dembele's second goal because beautiful counter attacking football, do it coming from the right on a counter, playing Dembele towards the inner left, 1v1 versus Upamecano, and that striker finish of shifting the ball one way for the defender to open their legs, reverse it. Neuer stood still, didn't see it coming. Beautiful finish. Even Vicha's goal, the first one, was kind of winger play, square up your defender, shift, get a yard, and bend it in. But I thought that Diaz's goal against PSG was probably the pick of the bunch just because of the pass from Harry Kane, the touch, that first touch off the side of his right foot from Diaz, fake shot to buy himself some space against Marquinhos, curl finish to keep his left. For me, that was my IQ finish of the week. Let me know what you guys think. Player of the week, again, Vicha, especially in this game, kind of like early on dragged PSG ahead, and then Dembele kind of took it from there. I think he deserves a shout, but Harry Kane was again phenomenal scoring. I think he's only two behind Mbappe in the Champions League, scoring in the league as well when he came off the bench. When Bayern were 3-0 down, they won 4-3. Um, so for me personally, Harry Kane, his all around play, his goals, and his assists, I think that he would be my IQ player of the week. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Who you think should have been the IQ player? If you agree, disagree, who else? Let me know. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Nelson will be back probably in 2 weeks. Still in England for a while, so but obviously sends his regards for sure. But thank you guys for watching another episode. What a game today. I'm still buzzing off the game. Those are the kind of games that make me want to go play. But I don't have any game today. I'm playing tomorrow. So looking forward to that. And just some inspiration for sure. But thank you guys, man. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.